Hello comrades, yes it's me, I'm back again, and I'd like to wish you all a happy new year. Right, so let's get my bit of business out of the way. I'd like to say thank you to Jason who returned my hat because I'd lost it at the Mr. and Mrs. Doctor's New Year's Eve party which I went to, so thank you for that Jason, much appreciated. Keep up the good work old boy. Right, other things I've got to say is I've had it on an inside source that now 2025 is going to be quite a busy pre-election year. Remember, we're having an election if it don't get cancelled in 2026. So if you remember, the Labour Party sent over a delegation of people to what I would describe as interfere with independent American elections. Now, my informal source says to me that the American people are going to do us a favour and return the favour. Yes. And we're going to end up with some sort of bizarre American style election within the UK. I also know the format it's going to take, so it'll be like this. They know that we don't like 20 miles an hour, to the point that 500,000 people said we don't want it. We also don't like net zero because it's making us all poor. We also are not happy with having 36 more people in the Senate because as it is, they don't do anything anyway, don't reply to you, and they are unaccountable. And there's a list of big things we don't like. And their format is they are still going to tell us that they are the voice of Wales and they are listening to us. Those are their main key drivers. Now, to manipulate us, and it is going to be manipulation, what they're going to do is start telling us all that we're uneducated. It's as simple as that. Now, I have had many conversations around people who call me uneducated, and I'll give you the way I manage it. What I say is, so he's calling me thick. At that point, they don't know what to say, right? Because they don't know me, they don't know my background, they don't know what life experiences I've had, they don't know my qualifications, and they don't know what I've read. There you go. And they don't know what I also know who might give me more information. So, be prepared for that to come our way. So today, comrades, yes comrades, I'm going to talk about what happened to me about 20 years ago. It's like a personal disclosure. But don't panic, I won't need any counselling about it because I'm managing it. Yes, I'm managing it myself. So, I went to bed, and about 20 years ago I woke up. And within that month, it suddenly became clear that people were calling me, I'm a racist. And they based that classification on the mere fact that I was white and I was male. Right, now for some reason, they didn't really consider that white females were also racist. But if you're going to be fair and equal in life, if you're white, then you're always going to be a racist according to the people telling me this. Now, what did make me laugh, and it's still happening this day, is that the same white people, male or female, who come from a middle to upper elitist backgrounds are the ones telling us working class or on the edge of middle class that we are racist. Just based on these two facts, that you're white and that you could be male, or three facts should I say, or female. Right, but these are the same people who are also white and also male telling us this. So stinks a bit like hypocrisy, I suppose. So let me deal with this now, because clearly I've had enough of it because I'm doing a video on it. So the Welsh First Minister, and I've done a video, made it clear that she's going to drive out racism. I had a look and all I could find was a few anecdotal stories. Right then, so let me give you my story. So, I was born. I came out, my mum gave birth to me. I came out and I was white. Right, that's it. Colour of my skin, nothing I can do with that at all, is there? In the same way, anybody from any race born anywhere is stuck with the colour of the skin. You can't change it, it's as simple as that. I was also born a biological male. Now, some people would say you can change that. I'm going to say no, that's impossible, thanks, and I don't want to change it personal experience. In the same way, some people are born a female. Right, there you go, biological fact. That's what I believe. So we've established two things I can't change. But for some reason, based on things I can't change, people are assuming I'm a bit of a racist. Right, again, let me then take you some more interesting facts. I was born in Hull. I went to a school on a council estate, right, but I didn't live in such a bad area, so I've got a mixture, but I do have the experience, right. I've had a range of jobs as well. So I went to school. I was not the best student. Now in Hull, there was a person back in the day who was William Wilberforce. Right, if you've heard of him, he is the MP, which was in Hull years ago, who was against slavery. So one of my school trips was going to look at anti-slavery museums and things like that. So as a young kid, impressionable young kid, I understood slavery is not good, because it is not good to chain people up to force them to do things they don't want to do. Now, I have to say, I do think we're going back to slavery now. Yes, I literally do. The way governments are acting is out of order, and it is like they're trying to enslave us. Sorry about that, back to my story. Now, I also got education about Martin Luther King. And Martin Luther King, if I remember my own words, said something like, it'll be a good day when we can get to the point where we don't judge people by the colour of the skin. Right, and we judge them all by the content of the character. You can't fault that, can you? Now, for some reason, what was hailed as an excellent speech and everybody applauded it, for some reason now it's okay for somebody else to judge all white people. How does that work? I don't really get that, to be honest. But what I find really more ironical about it is it's white people judging other white people. Now, that sort of like smacks to me of some discrimination stroke racism. Right then. So I found that quite interesting. And I'm not having it anymore, so I'll pack it in. Now, the other thing is I also got told they have privileges. Now, I've missed that somehow. I've never seemed to have a privilege. So let me give you what happened to me. So I finished school, didn't have any education, took a range of jobs from working in warehouse to manufacturing jobs to cleaning jobs to doing hospital porters to then being a postman and the rest of it, right? I don't really see any privileges in there. In between all of that, I managed to save, I managed to work hard, I managed to get a mortgage and start off getting a house. Right, okay. I looked after myself. I also paid for my own education because I thought, you better do better now. I didn't get a privilege from it. No one said, oh, come on, you're white, off you go. No. In fact, not that long ago, well, 20 years ago maybe, I could look it up, I applied for a job and I got told no because we're only employing minorities. Right, okay, maybe I should have kicked off there and then. So, I haven't been privileged in any way, shape or form. Now then, so I do object to that, being told I have a white privilege, because what you're literally doing is, without even knowing people, you're judging whole swathes of population. Now, the reason why you're doing that is really very clear to me, and it's about trying to keep us in our place. And what I find, as I've said already, is the people doing it always are middle class, upper class elite people. So why are they not racist, yet us working class people are? And remember, I was born in Hull. Hull was working class. I don't know if it still is. Should imagine it is. So, yeah. But now I've tried hard and I've worked up a bit. Right then. The other thing that I'd like to share is I've also heard that because I'm white, I'm responsible for the slave trade. Right, okay, so how does that work? So I had a bit of a look, and what I've done is I've put a couple of clips of very short video clips of slavery. And there's a woman called Candice Owen who's from America, and she does a total of 5-minute video explaining it. So I put the clips at the end, and then you can get a taster. They're only like a minute, whatever. See what you think. So basically, we didn't start it as a white person. It wasn't me. And you can see on this slide here, slavery, we wanted to abolish it, and we did it. 1833. Right, look at the dates. That is, as you can see, 192 years ago. So I know it's not me, but prior to 1833, there's loads of people responsible from all different race and creeds and colours. Right, so it wasn't just me. In fact, we started it off. We started to say this is a bad thing. Right, so at that point, I'm going to say, yeah, it nothing to do with me. I do not like slavery. That's why I don't like EV cars, because basically EV cars rely upon child slave labour for mining. It's as simple as that. Right. So as I say, I'm not happy with that. Now, the other bit I then came across was this thing about unconscious bias. Now I don't really get that. However, since I have been doing some training in my time, I'll tell you how it works. when you look at biases, I used to teach people on personal safety and self-defense. Personal safety is about recognising situations which are dangerous to you. And normally we'd say you learn from the situation. That's how we build up our self-reliance upon things. So as a postman, I'd see a dog. When I first started, it's like, oh, all dogs must be good. No, after getting chased and bitten many times now, no, I'm very biased against dogs. In the same way, I'm very wary and very biased against groups of young people who might be shouting and screaming and showing aggressive behaviour. That's how you keep yourself safe. That's the main aim of personal safety training. Right then, nothing wrong with that. So we all have our biases. Now, the bit I don't get is this unconscious bit. Now, as a trainer, I know that when people are walking a room, the only two things subconsciously they're thinking, or consciously thinking, is what time do we finish? Is there any free food? And will I be able to survive this person talking at me? Right. Now the unconscious bit, I've no idea how they work that out. So is the person there somebody who's an alien, specially trained in reading minds? No, they're not. So all I'm going to say is it's just made up stuff. Because literally all you can do is manipulate and trick people into giving information away, which consciously they're going to do, so it's not unconscious because they don't even know they're thinking it. And then we get this bizarre twist in it all. So the person stood there doing the training at the front, because they know they've got people there who have been sent there, is that trainer unconsciously biased against them? There you go. But how would that trainer know that unless somebody else has taught them how to read minds and how to read their own unconscious thoughts? Yeah, you see, it doesn't really add up. Anyway, remember, little bits of clips of videos at the end. Thank you for watching, and as I say, 2025, interesting year, but to be honest, as a white bloke who tries to do his best in life, I've had enough. Right, so please pack it in. Right, comrades, catch you on the other side. Thank you for watching, and well, enjoy this year. Thank you. Tick, subscribe, and yeah, catch you on the other side. Thank you.
It did not start in 1492 when Columbus discovered the New World. In fact, when the intrepid explorer landed in the Bahamas, the native Taino tribe hoped that he would help them defeat their aggressive neighbors, the Caribs. The Caribs enslaved the Taino and, on occasion, served them for dinner. Slavery existed in Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. The word slave actually comes from the Slavs of Eastern Europe. Millions of them, all white by the way, were captured and enslaved by Muslims in the 9th century and later by the Ottoman Turks. Slavery existed, as renowned historian John Steele Gordon notes from time immemorial. Slaves were a major item of commerce. As much as a third of the population of the ancient world was enslaved. Here's the second thing you need to know. White people were the first to formally put an end to slavery. In 1833, Britain was the first country in the history of the world to pass a Slavery Abolition Act. They were quickly followed by France, who in 1848 abolished slavery in her many colonies. Then, of course, came the 13th Amendment in the United States Constitution. After centuries of human slavery, white men led the world in putting an end to the abhorrent practice.